Hello everyone. It's lovely to see you again. My name's Jenny and I come from Hadnam Methodist Church. Today I'm going to tell you a story about a girl called Esther. Esther was the most beautiful girl of all the girls in the kingdom, and she was the adopted daughter of Mordecai, the Jew. Everyone loved her. And as soon as the king saw her, he chose her to be his queen. One day, Mordecai heard about a plot to kill the king, and he told Esther. The king was very grateful, and he wrote Mordecai's name in the official palace records. Sometime later, after this, a man called Haman was made the chief of staff to the king. He was a proud and very vain man and very cruel. Everyone had to kneel before him, but only Mordecai refused. "I am a Jew," he said, "and my people kneel only to God." From that moment, Haman made up his mind to kill Mordecai and all the Jews. He went to the king. "There is a nation in your kingdom that refuses to obey your laws," he said. "Let me have them destroyed." The king gave Haman the ring that he used as a royal seal, and Haman sent orders to all of the king's men, to the governors and to the provinces, telling them that the Jews must all be killed on a certain day. No one in the palace knew that Esther was a Jewish girl. Mordecai and all the Jews went into mourning. They ate no food. They wept out loud. "Whatever's the matter?" said Esther, and Mordecai told her. "Go to the king and plead for the lives of your people," he said. "But I haven't seen the king for a month," she said. "If I go to him without being asked, he may have me killed." "But God may have made you queen in order to save us all," said Mordecai. "No one else can speak to the king for us." So Esther went to the king. Haman was with the king, but he was glad to see her. Esther waited till the moment was right, and she invited them both to a dinner that night, and it went very well. "Come back again tomorrow," she said. Haman was very flattered. Dinner with the king and queen? But the thought of Mordecai spoilt everything. So he ordered his men to build a gallows and get it ready to hang Mordecai the next day. But that night, the king couldn't sleep. He sat up, reading through the palace records, and there was Mordecai's name. "I must reward him," he thought. So instead of being hanged, as Haman had planned, Mordecai was given royal honours. The next night at dinner, the king thought how lovely the queen was looking. "I will give you anything you want," he said to her. "You only have to ask." "I and all my people are to be killed," Esther answered. "I ask for the lives of my people." The king turned pale. "Who is responsible for this?" "Haman," she answered. "He has had a gallows made ready to hang Mordecai," one of the servants added. "Then hang him on his own gallows," said the king. And that was what they did. Esther saved the life of all her people that night, and the king made Mordecai his new chief of staff. So you see, you can do things if you listen to God and if you trust in him. Sometimes it's very difficult to go to people who you think are very, very important, to ask for things or to say things. Maybe you feel that. Perhaps somebody asks you to go to see a teacher and you're a little bit afraid. But teachers are human beings, the same as all of us, and they are very nice, kind people. So don't always be afraid when somebody asks you to do something. Take your courage in your hands and do it, and then you'll find it's not so difficult. Let's say a little prayer to God to ask him to help us. If you want to join in the prayer, put your hands together and shut your eyes. And at the end we'll say Amen. Dear God, help us to be brave. Sometimes we are asked to do things we are afraid to do. God will give us the courage to do these things if we listen to him, and then we find that the task was not as difficult as we had imagined in the first place. Help us to listen to God just as Samuel did in last week's story, and Esther did today. Amen. And I hope you liked that story. Goodbye.